T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
The adage of the day, technology is great when it works.
Right.
And when it doesn't, you're rendered almost useless in this world today.
I had a technology gremlin in class yesterday. My backspace button and my H key stopped working. So I had to shut down my computer, restart it, and it worked. And you don't realize how much you need the H key until you don't have it.
Like the letter H?
Like the letter H, yes.
Why would you need it so much unless you're typing out HTTP period // or
help, hi, ham. I'm always typing about ham.
I'm not sure why I just leaned into my microphone. It's not working. Hacky sack.
There you go.
Because that's a hacky sack. It's a word we use every day in 1994.
Hashish.
Hashish.
I don't use that word is not used in school.
Yes, John. Clueless of equipment. Well, you got on the air. It was all good. You didn't need me. Welcome all. Episode 176, the Play It By Ear podcast. Brady and Todd are with me. Brady now new and improved with crystals.
With what?
Crystals.
Oh, now with crystals.
You remember we did that episode about marketing, like marketing ploys that make you think something's better. So like now with flavor crystals are my favorite one, the litter box. Now with crystals, like the cat cares that there's crystals in its litter.
Oh, but your nose cares. Those little flavor crystals keep it from.
Yes.
Too bad.
So I need some improvement, evidently. So now I'm with crystals.
Yeah.
So say you smell less like shite.
Yes. You could have spelled that with no H key.
That's true. Fresh.
I apologize to our listeners. I tried to remedy my technical issues that I've been having ever since my Chromebook went out. I've been using my iPad, and I know the sound isn't as good because I'm using just the built-in mic and everything, but I tried it. Eric had a good idea for me to try. I didn't realize they made a cable that I could use for that, but because they put the charging plug in the wrong end of this thing, I can't use it. Why wouldn't they put a charging plug on the side? I don't understand why you put it on either end.
Because it's Bill Gates garbage, that's why.
I mean, a phone makes sense.
Well, no, if it's an iPad, it's not Bill Gates garbage. It's Steve Jobs garbage.
Yeah, but I mean, a phone makes sense to have the charger.
Sorry. I have no idea why it would be that because, like, I guess they're saying that if you're holding it, they don't. Well, let's see. If you're here, let me do this. If you're holding a device, if it powers it, if the power plug's at the side, you might get your thumbs or hands akimbo.
Well, but what they need to do then is so the iPad can spin right there in its case, and you could use it any way. They should have a charging plug at the top and the bottom. That way you could do it either way. Because if I'm wanting to set it up like on a desk or something, I can't. If I got to plug it in, I can't. It won't sit on the plug. So
Sit on that cord.
ridiculous.
Sit and spin.
Right. So anyway, you got to deal with bad audio for me for a while.
So on that note, there's another annoyance when it comes to that. When you want to look at something, like turn your phone or your device sideways, so you get a horizontal view of it, and it won't spin. It's one of those things that won't spin. Annoying. Everything should spin.
Or worse yet, when you're lying in bed on your side and you're trying to turn it to like be face up with you,
And it goes
and then it flips on you.
annoying.
Annoying.
First world
Get off my
problems.
lawn.
Yes, John, rotary phone with a party line. That's what I long for. I want to
Hey,
hear
so-
those conversations across the street.
Hey, anytime you're talking to me, it's a party line.
Right.
Sorry, I had to say that.
Wah.
But I want to, before we start our topic, sorry.
Well, I just thought of something. If they're not going to put a charging thing at the top and the bottom, have a camera on either side, and I can choose which camera I want to use depending on how I have the thing turned.
See, now that would be a much more doable solution, I think.
Yeah,
don't do
because
this
the other
now.
way, to keep that plugged in, it was me going,
Yeah, when he
Oh.
did that, it looked like he was looking over, but like over top of us, like the mothership was coming down behind me
We saw your gullet.
yeah, it's the,
in your crop.
All right. If you're in the room, we've heard from John. There's Savannah. Hello, Savannah.
Savannah.
Got 7 people in the room, so if you'd like to chime in, identify yourself, please do. If not,
Identify yourself.
Lumen Shadows.
I had a little bit of a mash post a couple days ago. I put it on there for the on our podcast handle on Facebook. We can't thank you enough. We basically, if I forgot to add the YouTube, we basically had 890 views within 24 hours last week. That is very humbling. That 7 people want to join us, but over 800 people watched our brand of hijinks.
well, they at least for a second or two.
At least for a second or two. At least for a second or two.
We'll count it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it counts.
I thought I would say it before somebody else thinks it. Like somebody might think, well,
Yeah.
they don't know
Yeah.
how it works. We know how it works.
See, these guys are full of themselves, thinking
Right.
that.
We know how it
Yeah.
works. Or it
Um,
could have been 10 people just watched us 80 times.
Could be.
Because their phone kept on spinning and they had to
Right.
reset it.
Right.
All right. Hello, Jim. Welcome.
Jim, or I should say hi, Mace.
Hi, Mace. Yeah, Savannah. That's about as Halloweeny as I'll go. Little T-shirt. Make like I'm a Dalmatian. Woof woof. Because my wife was Cruella DeVille. Yeah.
So it was,
Plus- plus my-
one Dalmatian.
Yes, one Dalmatian with a navy blue T-shirt. Now, why would you make a navy blue T-shirt that says "Pretend I'm a Dalmatian"? I mean, it just really didn't make sense. But I guess that made it all the more ironic. So,
If you want to be a real man,
Now you're a man.
you need to wear that like on the first day of spring or something and watch the confusion and bewilderment on people's faces.
I gotta fix my hair on air. I was so stressed out trying to get the microphone to work. I didn't get a mess with my quaff.
coiffure.
Gotta do it backwards. All right, that's good. That's much better. All right.
My
I'm ready
quaff
now.
was roinked walking the dogs. It was very windy today at my abode.
It was it was windy. Nice though. Nice and windy.
Very 80 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, it's unreal.
That's too hot for November, almost November.
All right. If you've never been here before, we will talk about a topic that Brady will have tonight. We will exhaust that topic. We will
He'll
move
be
on.
exhausted.
We'll move on to a game of some sort.
You don't
We'll
have
see
to
how
tell the
this
audience
topic
we have it
goes.
chosen yet.
What is it?
Huh?
I was asking Eric. He doesn't have to tell us, but he does. Do you have the game chosen?
Yeah, I was going to do the same one I was going to do last week.
Ah,
The topic kind of took over, which is okay. It's all
which is
right.
what we do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Brady, you have the floor.
Okay. So, I forget which one of the gentlemen sent this to me, and this just sounded like something that would go back easy on a Tuesday where everybody's tired and it's kind of light on the palate but fun. And according to this famethrowback.com, got to give them the props here. These are the funniest movies of all time according to comedy experts. Now, anytime I hear comedy expert, I get a little bit suspicious.
We will be the judge of that. We are the experts.
We will tell them what is
We
funny.
and our listeners are the experts.
Yes.
Are we comedy experts? I'm truly intrigued by that question.
On this show, we are.
Certainly.
That's right. And here's the thing. So I did not let the other hosts know what was on the list, and I just told them, hey, come up with a few of your comedies, make mental note of them. And if they're not on the list, we're going to take some time to throw in because I have only looked at the first three because I wanted to see what I was dealing with. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a stinker of a site for overly hoity-toity, pretentious, poncy comedies that really aren't funny. It's just somebody, sitting around some New York cinema thinking that they know what comedy is. So, but this is actually, hey, Celia, but this is actually the first three will be okay. So, audience, get ready to chime in. So, these are not ranked in any order, but the first one on the list is 2007's Superbad. This is after the heydays of 80s and 90s. Teen comedy was disappeared, but this coming-of-age comedy channeled both Porky's and American Pie in the antics of two high schoolers trying to pick up girls. It also made Michael Cera and Jonah Hill stars, and of course, introduced the world to McLovin.
Yeah. So this isn't in any order. You said? Are you
It
sure?
is not in any order.
Okay. So what's the? How many are on the list?
I haven't looked. I know that there's at least 20 something.
Okay. Yeah. I remember thinking Superbad was good but overrated. That was my take on it. There were several movies right around there. Pineapple Express, I think, was right around there.
It's kind of a dark comedy.
Yeah. Which just reminded me think of another one, but I don't know. So is our take supposed to be whether we think it belongs on the list or not? Or what do we do with it?
Or are we just opining on them?
We opine it now about it. Now we could say yay or nay it belongs in the list. If you think it belongs on some kind of list, I'm going to say Superbad. It wasn't one of my all-time favorites. It was okay, made me laugh, but it's not a movie I feel compelled to watch over and over again. It fails the not watch over and over again test, which is an important piece of criteria for me.
So this is Michael Cera's first role?
Well, it's his first big one.
Not my favorite Michael Cera role.
Correct. But it was okay.
Because when you told me to make or when you told us to think of our top five, I couldn't. Or not a top five, but just five. Around 7 or 8 is where I had to stop it. And Michael Cera is very funny in one of these movies that is on my list. I thought what I remembered about Superbad, and I'm trying. What year was it?
2007. Hard to believe that movie's almost 20 years old.
Yeah, 2007. So what was I? 40? No, 30. 30. Can't do math. Yeah, so I would have been around 30. I remember thinking that it tried too hard, or it got this big kick in the pants right off the bat, like everybody, like it was the funniest thing ever. And I remember being underwhelmed. and I think it was because of the hype.
It was.
They had a lot of hype.
Was it a Judd Apatow movie? I believe.
I don't know.
I don't
think
remember.
so.
Somebody could look that up. But a lot of his movies kind of fall into that category. It's okay. Like I said, that there's definitely laughable moments, but I'm also going to blame one thing on Superbad. It's the first time I'd heard people casting dispersion on cargo shorts and cargo pants. And he said, "You're not going to make any girls wearing cargo shorts." And I mean, I know things go in and out of style, but he made it sound like somebody was wearing a leisure suit, and that bothered me in 2007.
Well,
It's like, who are you, Jonah
I-
Hill?
I'm not a cargo pants person. Or
I'm not a cargo pants person, but a cargo shorts,
I'm not a
I
cargo.
will rock a pair
You don't need to have,
occasionally.
you don't need to have that much stuff on your person where you require cargo shorts. Phone, wallet, keys is all you need, Brady. Of course,
You've never been
Brady,
to the theme park with my children.
Brady, don't blame your children. You've had a bushel of keys since you were 20 years old.
All right. So
You've had a lanyard of a custodian key ring on a lanyard around your neck since I know you.
you should have one of those things on the wire.
That's I do in case I want to do some emergency zip lining.
Yeah.
Brady's the first one I know that used a lanyard. He used lanyards before lanyards were cool.
This is true. All right, so I will say the cargo shorts are good, and yes, I agree. Phone, wallet, keys are essentials, and really the only essentials. But now with the advent of the keyless start, I don't need my keys. I put it in the cargo short pocket, and they just stay there. They don't scratch my phone. They don't get mussed up with my wallet. I have a pocket for my phone, a pocket for my wallet, and a pocket for my keys.
Well, I gave Brady some crap. Now I got to give you some crap, Eric. You need a supersized pocket for your wallet. I mean, you need like a special.
Here comes that old tripe.
That
old chestnut.
That old chestnut. It's true.
I've been hearing this George Costanza wallet nonsense for 25 years, and it's not true. It's not true.
It's very true. Now, I haven't seen it lately. Maybe you've downsized. Have you downsized walleyes?
It shrinks with age.
We're talking wallet here, not transfer.
Merce. Okay, you want to talk about throwing shade? Here's shade. Todd, you'd be lost without all the crap in my purse, your wife says.
All I need is phone, wallet, keys, and whatever Saya can carry in her purse is all I need.
Yeah.
But I am a front pocket wallet person. I am
Me too.
thin, like the little nary. My son got me one, really cool actually. But it even has like it even has a little button you hit on the side, and your cards come up.
Yes.
In depth.
Boing.
Yeah.
It'll make your cards erect, and mine is made of what's that stuff? Oh, wait a minute, but not Teflon. Crap. Hold on.
Be careful, Brady.
Kevlar. I have Kevlar, and it's bulletproof, so I can sit there and deflect bullets with my wallet.
So, are you thinking about possibly getting shot in the upper thigh? I mean, what good does that do you?
No, I will take it out of my pocket and wield it like a shield, like Captain America.
I think isn't the idea is that they can't steal your cards.
It's RFID proof, allegedly.
In your case, Brady, I go more with Wonder Woman's bracelets than some Captain America shield.
Yeah, you've seen Eric's wallet. Don't let him back out of this.
Hey, you should be worried that your wife is asking me to whip it out here.
No, she remembers our wedding day where we had to it took 3 of us to pick your wallet up out of the mud puddle out in the parking lot of the church. Because when it got wet, it literally
it expanded.
Well, Eric, Cindy has told the story before about why the size of your wallet is very important because of the time where she thought you stiffed her for a tip. And you had the receipt in your wallet,
right?
That was like a month old. Yeah.
Yes, there's a purpose.
So yeah,
it's a porpoise.
So the story is that Celia was she was waitressing at a Skyline, and waited on Eric one night, and he didn't leave her a tip, so she thought. And obviously she wasn't like mad about anything like that, but I think the next time she saw Eric,
Joshing him.
Yeah, she just said, "Hey, Eric, did I, just didn't know if I did something wrong or whatever." And Eric's like, "No, I left you a tip." And Nick, he gets in his wallet and pulls out his receipt.
So how Sal, sir? Here's your tip. Just the tip.
Which brings up a whole other point of why I didn't see you receive it. We wouldn't even go there.
That's why she stopped working there, wasn't it?
That's right. We don't want to
stealing her tips.
All right. So let's go on to the next movie, which is on my low key.
Well, I got some comments. It is
Judd Apatow, by the way, Brady.
Okay.
Judd Apatow. All right. Jim says Superbad is not a movie he would watch on a Saturday afternoon, and I think he brings up this point, and I think this is the valid measure to me. There are movies where if I see them on usually a Saturday afternoon, something like that, if it's halfway through and I am watching it no matter what, no matter where the movie comes on my TV, I'm watching the rest of it. That is the measure of a good film. Yes. Let's see. Celia says, I'm with you. I've only seen it once. I have no burning desire to watch it again. Yeah. Celia, no offense, I don't think you're the demographic. So I would venture to say that you probably could take it or leave it.
Yeah, there were a lot of movies that seemed to come out around that same time, and I just remember thinking that there were better ones, and better Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're saying that name right or not, but
and easy with that nonsense, Jim. Yeah, I don't need you to chime in about my wallet.
Thank you, Jim. By the way, it is bad on your back.
Okay.
So Celia says the owner's young son who ran the register purloined the tip that I gave Celia.
Pilfered.
Absconded with.
All right.
Yes.
So the next, sorry.
There may be more of these on the list, but this is kind of what I was talking about. So that was Apatow, 2007, right?
Yeah.
So Apatow had a nice little stretch, within around a 10-year period. He had, and some of these may be on the list, I don't know, but he had Anchorman, which to me, much superior to Superbad. Talladega Nights, which I like better than Superbad. Pineapple Express was the next year, and I didn't like that. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, definitely higher on my list than Superbad. So he had a nice run there. Then he had Bridesmaids, which I would put over Superbad. So Getting to the Greek. So I just felt like it wasn't his best work around.
Not his best one. It just kind of hit a little bit differently. It was, but still people still may. I saw a McLovin T-shirt the other day. Somebody was wearing where it had the fake driver's license on it. So the next one is definitely one. It might not be one of my top 10, but I always watch it when it's on. 1987's Spaceballs. Spaceballs. It is the Star Wars parody by Mel Brooks. And in fact, this movie is so quotable. At Disney a month ago, there was a guy that had a Spaceballs themed T-shirt on it. And then in line, I heard 3 people throw different quotes at him. My Schwartz is as big as yours. Comb the desert. Just plain yogurt. And that's a great movie. Great movie. What's it short for? Bartholomew. John Candy's character Barf.
Bartholomew. That is classic.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And the character is Dark Helmet, Pizza the Hut. Pizza the Hut is classic. Ludicrous Speed, yes. So, great movie. Very, very, very great movie. One of my favorites of the Mel Brooks. So, it's definitely well done. So, we could all agree on that one. Now, here's one that might get some dander up, and I don't know why. 2009's The Hangover. I like that movie. People lost their minds over that movie. I was okay seeing it once. It falls into that category for me, the same as Superbad. I liked it.
I very much think so as well. I think it was, but I think it was overrated. Put it this way, maybe I was maturing, but to me it was too much chaos.
It was just, it had some memorable parts. It did, and it was funny, man. I remember laughing, but once was enough.
Yeah, same with me. Matter of
Because
fact,
it lost its luster
that
the
whole
more times you
series.
saw it.
That whole series was that way with me. Like,
Oh,
what,
yeah.
3 of them?
Well, I mean, that whole series was how many of the same movie? I didn't think there was any nickels worth of difference in any of them, was there?
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Well,
The
I mean,
first-
that can be good or bad though.
that could.
I think if you like the first one enough, you want the sequels to. I think that's where you want them to be. But if you just kind of like nah, then the formula stops working.
That's the movie that really hammered this little point home. Celebrity Crush, that the older I get, Heather Graham stays the same. Always a little bit of a celebrity crush on her, and she still, is phenomenal.
That movie, and maybe it's just my peeping, but like that movie moved too fast for me. You know what I mean? Like it was funny, but I'm like, slow down a little bit. Let some jokes sink in. Let some comedy sink in. Don't.
Yeah. To quote our friend Doug, it was too exciting.
Well, and I mean, I've never sampled the cocaine before, but I felt
Well,
like
that's
I
good
was.
to know.
I felt like I was on the cocaine there. I mean,
The toot.
the toot.
Hey, have I told you or showed you? From the makers of Cocaine Bear, there is a new one coming out called Crackoon. And I thought it was a parody at first, but it's real. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Cocoon.
I laughed for 5 minutes.
All
right.
Hello, Brian.
Brian,
Hey, Brian.
welcome aboard.
Brian got a big day coming up on Friday. Brian's getting married this Friday.
Oh, congratulations.
Hey.
Speaking of the hangover and
Congratulations.
bachelor parties, don't lose a
Brian,
tooth or end up with Mike Tyson's tiger in your car.
Brady, you would know. Eric, you probably don't, but Brady, you know the Horricks, Jenna and Jeff Horrick.
Yes.
Well, Brian is going to be their son-in-law.
Ah,
Hmm.
very cool. Yes, Elizabeth Banks, Celia, she did do the basic screenplay for Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine
I do
Bear.
not think she's involved with Cocoon.
Now, I'm not going to be able to concentrate the rest of the show now because I'm trying to think of other drugs that we can put into animals. Like I'm trying angel dust so bad. Angel ducks. I can't. Angel ducks. I don't know. That doesn't sound good.
All I could come up with was PC Penguin. But anyway, so the next one deserves to be on this list, and I think honestly is going to be on most people's list, especially of our demographic, is 1983's National Lampoon's Vacation, the original, with Chevy Chase and Beverly
Yes.
D'Angelo,
Yes.
Anthony Michael Hall, Randy Quaid, Christy
Yes.
Brinkley.
Randy
Yes.
Quaid. Randy Quaid. Still a good follow. You should follow him on Twitter if you. We had a nice Randy Quaid quote the other day, Eric. I think it was you that shared that.
Yes. Yep. Correct.
Am I going to be kicked off the show though if I tell you that? To me, Christmas Vacation is funnier than the original National Lampoon's Vacation.
That's highly debated, and it is well founded. There are people that is not what you call a super alternative contrarian take.
Yeah.
It's about a 50-50 where people both love them, but some prefer one or the other.
A little more
Um,
family friendly. Christmas Vacation is a little more family friendly.
Yeah.
And I like my movies.
Sorry. Sorry to bust out the historian saves the day.
Nice.
Or-
With Crackoon, the historian says ecstasy turtles.
Or ecstasy animals.
Yes. Yeah.
So, what do we think of European Vacation? Where does it sit in this? I mean, obviously it's third in the big three.
Yeah. I loved it.
I liked it.
I mean, pig and a poke. Come on.
I mean, the Big Ben Parliament. Who hasn't made that joke every time you've got
Oh,
calls?
exactly.
In circles.
And in roundabouts have become more prevalent. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Rusty,
probably-
Rusty, and is that worrying that the couple making out at the?
I was getting ready to say that. Let's just say there was pork products in the joke.
When did that term go away?
I don't.
Was it ever a thing? Was that the only movie? I mean, I mean, you had Porky's, the movie, but they never even used that. They never used that term. I mean, Porky's was obviously a business, a place, an establishment. But like, if you've watched the movie European Vacation, you know what we're talking about. Rusty is a little bit concerned that
Some PDA going on
some PDA going on at a
in
restaurant.
Paris.
Yeah, and so, but I don't. That term, I just don't know when that came in and when it went out.
Well,
I just heard the line in my head. He's gonna, Dad,
He's not gonna.
Russ.
All
All right, so will I be kicked off the show if I say that I feel Christmas Vacation is overrated?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not. Is it overrated or overplayed?
Both.
You know what I mean? There's a difference.
I think Christmas Vacation is more popular now than it was when it came out.
I'd agree with that.
I think
So-
it's aged like fine wine. Christmas Vacation might have been a little bit ahead of its time, honestly.
Well, take A Christmas Story. Speaking of Christmas movies, that movie's overplayed but not overrated.
True.
Agreed. I've never seen Vegas Vacation.
I haven't either. I
I
don't
didn't mind
intend
it.
to.
I didn't mind. I'm a big. What's his name? Who was the Ed Helms? I like Ed Helms.
So we're getting the vacation quotes fast and furious. E-swoop. She breathes on me. A dead person breathes on me. And then
there is
it's
not
a
one single
bit,
time. Go ahead. Sorry.
it's a bit nipply in here.
Hey, Samantha.
Hello,
Hey, Samantha. There is not a single time where occasionally my daughter Reagan loves the cheeseburger mac hamburger helper when I don't say, I don't know why they call it hamburger helper. It tastes just fine by itself. And, yeah.
And she's stirring the Kool-Aid with her bare hand.
Oh, yeah. And any time that I see an attractive lady driving a red car, I start immediately going, I've had some crazy nights. Because every time Christy Brinkley hits the screen, they play that little, yeah.
He's got the sandwich.
It's a great movie. What? Who are we kidding? So it deserves to be on the list.
And the classic metallic P.
As we've talked about on this show before.
All right.
PEA.
Not
Hey, we don't know that.
PEE.
We don't know. It didn't-
Yes, we know
Script.
that.
You did not
Yes.
read the script.
Yes, we know that.
Well, it just cracked me up how matter of factly. I mean, the original time that came up on the podcast, I remember Eric and I looking at each other stunned, and we couldn't get the air out fast enough. Where Todd called it metallic whiz, and we were like,
But okay, let me point out, you guys looking at each other does not disprove what I said, though.
Boy, you're going to die on this hill, aren't you?
Eric, you've been here with me before, Eric. It was like when Brady, all these years, had Ranger Dan or whatever it was wrong. What was it he was
I
wrong
stand
about?
behind it. It's interpretation. So the next one on the list.
We'll have to have that conversation on our special adults only 21 and over.
Play it by ear after dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at our age, play it by ear at dusk. All right.
Right.
So this one, is on my top 3 of all time, and I could watch it anytime it's on. 1994's Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It holds
Um,
up.
And the thing is, I'm not usually one for slapstick, but that movie has enough highbrow
Heft.
and yeah, that the slapstick is good. It's not all slapstick. There's things that you need to think about to get the joke. So I'm
Oh man.
Yeah,
So
think about all the great lines. I mean, I have a student this year that came to me with the nickname Seabass. And so, like, I love, yeah. So every time I say his name, I think of the kick his ass.
If he ever gets in fisticuffs on the playground, please promise me you'll say it.
Yep. And I say he'll tell you how many times I'll say like the soup of the day or whatever, and I'll say, "Well, that sounds good. I'll have that." Like, he asked what the soup du jour is, and she's like, "It's the soup of the day." That sounds good. I'll have that.
And I've said often, I want to go someplace where the beer flows
like wine.
and the salmon of Capistrano.
Yeah. Like Eric said, that movie's it's a nice mixture because you had Jim Carrey's usual Jim Carrey, but it was also witty enough to, I think to hold all types of senses of humor. All type of senses of humor. All type of senses of humor.
Yeah.
All types of senses of humor.
All types of humor.
Oh,
There you go.
we don't even need senses. Hell of a guy. Hell of a bunch of guys.
And a bottle of Chianti.
Okay.
Ass man. Who hasn't done the most annoying sound? Or the
Fuck.
fuck. Yeah. Yeah.
Bird. Oh man. Okay. This next one on the list is one of also on my list, and I think this might top a list of its own. I'm getting multiple layers. So here, let me just tell you what it is. 2008 Step Brothers. Step Brothers was a dud when it came out. I can always watch Step Brothers.
See, I don't remember it being a dud. Was it a dud? Like,
Yeah, total flop.
Really?
Total flop. Yeah, I mean, it was considered a flopperoonie. And then people didn't go see it for whatever reason. There's a reason, and I don't remember what it was. It's something about the marketing or whatever. But then when it came out on DVD, it's lived forever in infamy.
So,
And
are we able? What are we doing with our list? Like, do we work it in, or we wait until it's over?
I think I wait till it's over.
Yeah,
Well,
I think we better wait till it's over.
The only reason I say it is because Step Brothers was on my list.
And it usually is for that reason, because it is one that a lot of people did not see at the theater at all. I didn't. In fact, I don't think I remember it being out. And I'm like, this is going to be. And I remember watching it, and the clouds parted, and the sun came out, and I laughed hysterically. Even the tiniest details of that movie, down to his Pablo Cruz concert T-shirt, was hilarious.
And think about how much that movie's quoted.
Oh gosh, I think not a day goes by like they call me the dragon. No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
And I when he was telling his soon-to-be stepmother, I want this, and I want a bowl of fresh fruit on the counter every day. Like why he said a bowl of fresh fruit, and it cracks me up.
I think the good thing about those movies when you watch like outtake reels and stuff, and you realize how much that they just ad lib, And plus, I do you think that maybe the reason why it wasn't so big at the beginning, I didn't know that, but do you think that maybe because John C. Reilly was not really a known comedy? I mean,
he had done Boogie Nights already and Talladega Nights.
Well, let me stop you for a second. Boogie Nights is not the same type of movie. Boogie Nights.
No,
No.
but he had fame. I mean, he was.
No, no. What I was getting at is he wasn't known for comedy. He wasn't known
Oh,
for his
okay.
comedy chops. Yeah.
You got the touch. It has its comedic moments.
Oh, it's hilarious. I don't really
Yeah.
want that to be funny.
Yeah, Celia, Prestige Worldwide.
That's right.
Prestige Worldwide.
Boats and hose.
Historian Step Brothers was a horrible flop in the theaters, just like Joe Dirt when it came on DVD. People quoted them nonstop. That is true.
Now, Joe Dirt, I actually saw at the theater, and I don't know, why. Sorry, but I didn't mute myself. I think I'm going to sneeze, but I can't find my button, so I apologize. Anyway, typewriter. Okay.
I think. Do you know one of my favorite dynamics? Well, there's three people that I in that movie in Step Brothers, aside from obviously Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. The dad. I just love how frustrated the dad gets.
Yeah.
I mean, like he
Yes.
plays it perfectly.
Yes, he does.
And I watched the thing about him. Like there was one scene that he had ad libbed, so it wasn't just like the two main guys ad libbed. They were all like ad libbing lines. And then the brother. What was his name?
Oh, what is his name? The obnoxious brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his wife, she was hilarious in it as
Yeah.
well. And then the last one is the guy that the one who was with the brother, or the one who, oh crap.
He's the former Marine.
Yeah, he was a Marine in real
Yeah.
life. Yeah, he's hilarious in that as well.
Bam.
But yeah, have you ever seen where like they made all that up? Like that wasn't in the script either.
Derek.
Yes.
That would have to be very difficult as an actor to work with people who are ad-libbing all the time.
You if you think about it, you probably have to cast it with other people that ad lib. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
That's why. Yeah. A lot of improv.
Of course, I would love to see the outtakes because, I mean, there was nothing better to me than watching Harvey Korman crack up on the Carol Burnett show when Tim Conway was doing whatever he was doing. And he couldn't keep it. Well, and it wasn't only him. I mean, I just saw one the other day. Carol Burnett and Harvey Korman were both cracking up.
Yeah.
You can go on YouTube, Eric, if you just like search Step Brothers outtakes and gag reels and stuff, you'll find all kinds of stuff. There's some good videos out there of that.
Yeah. It's just a classic. Now, this one is on the list, and it's on my list, but it's not for everybody. Someone that I used to know did not like this movie. It made them stressed out because of all the bad things that happened. And that is 1987's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I want my blanking car right blanking now.
Yeah. Or
There was something to me though about, and maybe it was my age. A lot of the Steve Martin, although I love the Jerk. I hope the Jerk's on this list. A lot of the Steve Martin, John Candy, I liked the movies, but I never found them outrageously funny. John Candy himself, I loved him, but he never just to me wasn't side splitting funny. Great Outdoors,
that's a great movie.
Summer Rental, was that John Candy?
Yeah,
Summer Rental, yeah.
he did both. Summer
they were
Rental
good.
was a flop, but The Great Outdoors was an underrated one. Well, I mean, it wasn't critically well received, but people love it, and they still quote it to this day. But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is super funny, but it's not it's a different. It hits different. Like, I still think when that guy steps out of the car, they're in the back of that pickup truck, and the pickup truck's going to take him to freezing cold. And the guy just steps out of the truck and gives us this then clears his throat and just lets it, and just stares at the camera. And then the dog's face got frozen, and the dog's got the scary teeth, and it's frozen that way. And it's just stupid stuff that maybe not everybody, but oh gosh.
It's situational humor. It's not, gag humor. Well, there's a little bit of gag humor, I guess, but a lot of it's
Yeah.
situational humor. You know, like Jim, this is a classic. Wear your hands between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
Pillows.
Hey, how about them bears? Arr.
Yeah, great movie. And like I said, I figured that this one was going to elicit Todd's reaction. I don't think anybody hates it, but the people that love that there's a separation there.
Yeah, I think it borderline falls into cult classic type category over, to me, just like outrageously funny. But again, I could probably say that about most John Candy vehicles.
Yeah.
So it falls into a very select group of movies, a Thanksgiving movie.
True.
That's true. I never thought about that. Which I'm gonna just hustle through the. By the way, the next one on the list was Christmas Vacation. So I think we've already kind of exhausted that one. We could go on.
I see clouds of white. That's not the song they play on that, is it?
It's not.
They play same person, isn't it? Is it the same? What is the song they play?
There's another classic line, Jim. You're going the wrong way. How do they know where we're
going? Yeah. Okay. Here it goes. Todd, you made a brief reference to this movie earlier. 2011's Bridesmaids.
Great movie.
Great movie. It is okay. I do not call it a chick flick. I don't, because I think its humor crosses lines. It's funny no matter what.
No, well, a chick flick is a movie.
You can't call a comedy a chick flick.
No, unless but chick flick would be like the dreamy, good-looking guy saves the day type.
Chick flick term has been replaced by the term rom-com.
Kind of, yeah. I'm a sucker for a good rom-com, but I will say that's the first like female-led movie where they kind of did the shock value humor.
Yes,
which I really appreciate that. I mean, like the scene after they ate, they all got food poisoning. I mean, that's just
her face
in the street. Like when she gives up, she just gives up the ghost right in the middle of the street. I mean, yeah.
So for those of you at home, the scene we're talking about is after her best friend, they suggest they go to the Brazilian steakhouse and they eat all this, these racks of meats, if you've ever been to Brazilian steakhouse, and then the E. coli or whatever sits in, and she's like sweating, and it's like, would you like a mint? And then the famous not Jenny McCarthy, I'm sorry, Melissa McCarthy, yeah. When she hoists her dress up and sits in the sink and screams, "It's hot like lava."
Yeah.
The first time I saw that.
Like lava, yeah. Well, but then the end of that scene.
Yes.
End of that scene where I think is it Maya Rudolph or whatever? It's in the street, like she's literally just stops right in the middle of the street.
Oh, that's usually not associated with girl type humor.
Yeah.
But that scene just like.
Going back to Dumb and Dumber though, was that the toilet scene in Dumb and Dumber?
The Turbo Lax?
But that was the first scene of that. I remember like that type of scene in a movie. Do you remember any like?
The only thing that I could come close to thinking is Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
The campfire bean scene.
Yeah. Well, and I read something just the other day. I was reading an interview with Bridges, Jeff Daniels.
Oh yeah.
Jeff Daniels.
And he was talking about that, how he was scared to death of that scene, and like he was like he had no idea what to do. He was afraid. It wasn't him. I mean, nobody had ever seen Jeff Daniels.
He's a serious actor.
Yeah, and I guess Jim Carrey kind of like pulled him aside and said, "Look, just go for it. Just don't worry about it. Just go for it. I guess, and he kind of convinced him to just go for it. The one I will say though, which I hope it's on the list, but the James Woods in Scary Movie, when they reenacted the Amityville horror, like when he's in the bathroom and he's like, first I have to bless this house, and he goes, he's the priest, like at the beginning of it, he goes in and like all the flies are landing on his face and stuff.
Oh, Samantha with a fun fact. Eric, take it away.
Yes, she says her brother lives a street away from Melissa McCarthy's parents. They are super nice.
Nice.
Wow.
Where's that? Is that Chicago? Where is that?
What's their address?
Yes, give us their address.
I thought she was going to say something about Ted Danson.
Well,
Had
yeah.
a Ted Danson comment.
Oh shoot. Todd, Scary Movie is on this list,
It should be.
and I'm shocked.
Why?
I like it. I like it as much as the next guy, but it's not one that I would. Okay, Spaceballs is the parody movie on there, but I think this is what colors me on this is because there was like Scary Movie and Not Another Teen Movie, which I will add is also on this list. Like I'm going to throw them on there, where they do the parody of certain genres, and not that there's a problem with that, but I think a lot of comedy experts where they're taking written comedies and parodying that, they might think that is not as creative.
Well, first off, the Scary Movie was good until the series was good until they started going PG-13 and trying to get all audiences involved. The first two are fantastic. I mean, Chris Elliott in the second one as the strong hand, the butler or whatever he was with the house they go to that has the hand. That's brilliant. I mean, like he's awesome. But what I'll say though, first off, the Wayans brothers. I mean, they were the ones who made that, right?
I believe so.
So kind of like we talked about, like when you talk about like the Bridesmaids with the African American based like I think that was the first of that type of movie that the Wayans brothers that whole genre they kind of had a nice stranglehold of there, which I think was pretty groundbreaking. Like, but also when you say that, you mentioned Spaceballs, but really had that been used that often though? I mean, you had Airplane, you have Spaceballs, you had movies like Hot Shots, but I will say this: Hot Shots didn't hold up. Like if you watch Hot Shots now, to me, I don't think you would laugh as hard now as maybe you did when it first came out.
It is pretty 80s topical, isn't it?
But what Scary Movie did that none of them did is Scary Movie, again, that R-rated, a little more adult, risque humor. And I think I think that helped that series. And again, when it went to PG-13, it started falling off.
Does Top Secret fall under this category movie?
I don't know.
The whole spy movie.
Is Eric frozen?
No, he's just being pensive.
Oh,
yes.
I was frozen. I don't know. But I do think there's something about like when you take something that already worked on its own and then you spoof it. I talk about the musical Rock of Ages. Rock of Ages was brilliant because it already took songs that were popular and put them in a musical. I mean, like you couldn't go wrong. Nobody could knock the songs because they were already big rock and roll hits. So like it's kind of like I look at it the same way with Scary Movie.
Indeed, Chris. Spaceballs had all that merchandise. Spaceballs the blanket. Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Naked Gun, right, Jim?
Oh,
yes.
Naked Gun.
Yes.
So again, I kind of think Scary Movie just took what Naked Gun and all had done and took it to a little more mature audience, and then plus the horror movie spoofing. I mean, really been done before. And think about the popularity of the movies that it spoofed. Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, it took some already pretty popular movies and my take. But I think it belongs there. It's on my list, by the way.
Yeah.
There's two of them on my list so far.
Am I the only one that's a Top Secret fan?
No, I like Top Secret.
It's like cigarettes,
It's
novelties,
cigars.
party tricks.
It's party favors.
Oh, party! I thought it was party tricks.
So, the cow scene in that movie is brilliant. First off, but it reminds me of when Kung Pao came out.
I knew that was coming. I knew we couldn't talk about cows without Kung Pao.
And the
I
Kung Pao scene with the cow he was on the trailer was actually one of the least it wasn't one of the funnier parts of that movie. Would you agree that the cow scene was not?
Wasn't it just a cow with boots on?
Well, in Top Secret, but it
Yeah.
was but it was that's funny. I mean, a cow with boots on is funny.
Yeah, it's just a very,
All right, here's a topic for debate. Now that you bring up Top Secret, better Val Kilmer comedy, Top Secret, or now crap, it went right out of my ear.
Genius.
Real Genius. Yes, I was going to say Weird Science. That's not it.
Top Secret by far.
I loved Real Genius, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple times I've about pulled the trigger on the Surf Nicaragua T-shirt. Yes, Celia, Todd's loving wife. It is well known that she hated Kung Pao. Did she get angry at you for laughing? So you guys were laughing so hard.
No, so she probably gets angry because I cannot go through the medicine aisle at a store. I just did it the other day at Meijer and went Neo store and I constantly go wee, 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 wee. That's probably why she gets mad. But we went to see it at the theater. I don't know if she was with me or we went to see it. Did we go see it? Brady, were you
I
there?
was not with you that night, but I know
But
Doug was there.
But it was literally, and I'm not exaggerating, it was a theater full of men cracking up laughing and their significant others looking at them like they had a third eye, like they were.
Celia fell asleep during that movie. So we have 2 votes for Real Genius, by the way, Celia and Jim. Say Real
I love
Genius
those
over Top
movies.
Secret.
I'm a Top Secret kind of guy. We watched that here recently. It held up. It held up really well, along with Blazing Saddles. We watched both of those.
Oh.
Everybody's gone, but Eric.
No, sorry.
Sorry, fellas, I couldn't find the button. Okay, so next on the list, 1999's American Pie.
Classic.
It is a comedy classic.
Yeah.
It is.
It brought comedy back. It can be argued that it brought the raunchy, raucous, coming-of-age comedy back.
Did it bring it back, or was it the death blow?
Ooh.
That is a great question.
Well,
'Cause I
after
don't
we
know if
just
they-
now wait a minute. After we just talked about Superbad was after that.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And Eric, what was the one we just watched on Netflix? Oh gosh, the new one.
I don't know. You're the one that brought it to
What was
me.
that called? What was that called? Freshman year or something?
Yeah, something like it was outstanding. Whatever it was.
It was derivative, but funny as heck.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, American Pie was. I kind of want to call it groundbreaking. I'm using that word too much. It's kind of like standing ovations. We give way too many standing ovations when we go see performances. I can't call everything groundbreaking,
Yeah.
but it was definitely, there was something about it that was different. Do you know what I mean? Like there was
It was
something,
innocent but raunchy. Does that make sense?
but it felt well. Okay, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I would compare it to Fast Times at Ridgemont. I was going to compare it to Revenge of the Nerds, but it's more Fast Times at Ridgemont High because it's a high school setting versus a college
Right.
setting.
Right.
Fast Times had a dark side.
Yes.
Does it? Did
Well,
American Pie have a dark side?
I don't think so. I mean, well, I mean, I guess if you're a fan of confectionaries, I mean, like if you're a fan of pies,
Yes.
but I see what you're saying. Fast Time did Fast Times have a dark side, or was it just when it came out?
I think now I've always thought that Fast Times was the lighthearted fare, then it hit you with the dark underbelly, and then took you out gently at the end. Because it got real dark real fast.
But do you think
Yes, it did.
do you think that Fast Times, Damone,
Yes.
Damone alone, kind of brought it in some darkness? I hope Fast Times is on this list though.
I don't know. We'll find out because I didn't get that far.
American Pie belongs on that, and the second one was good. I'm trying to think of when it jumped the shark. Probably the third one. There was a reunion, wasn't there? Like an American Pie reunion type movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think there was.
class reunion or something. Yeah.
But was Stifler in that? I mean, would you say that Stifler was everyone's favorite character by far? Like, would you think he kind of, or Stifler's mom?
Ooh. Poop
So-
break. But
That's funny because that sounds like a nickname we would have given somebody.
oh,
That is
man.
correct, Chris. There was a reunion and a wedding. That's true.
That's true.
So Celia has a good question here. So why did they cut the birth control discussion scene from Fast Times? She distinctly remembers the scene when the girls left the pizza place, Linda talking to another girl about her control. But whenever she sees the movie, that scene is now gone. But they don't cut out the abortion part, just the birth control part. And maybe it's just a way to, the thing that used to make Mousy so upset, modified. Modify the movie. Kind of
So
fit it into that 2-hour block.
Yeah.
when do you think that? I don't know, because see, that's another one of those movies that gets like catches a lot of crap. Like there's a lot of arguments that movie stems. Like I remember following an argument on Twitter about the objectifying. Is that the word, objectifying?
Yeah.
Phoebe Cates for the pool scene, and like most situations, the people who are mad and up in arms about it and fighting it aren't even the people that she came out and said she was fine with it, and that kind of thing. So I wonder if it's one of those things where it was just politically motivated somehow. Like there was just
Yeah.
Turned many a boy into a man, I'll tell you that.
I will say.
well, the funniest part about that argument, though, I followed on Twitter one time, was there was these people like just griping, men, and then when somebody's like, "You do realize the director of that movie was a
Penelope Spheres.
woman.
Amy Heckerling.
Yeah, a female."
Oh,
Don't you?
sorry,
And like
yeah.
that person, like you, so they never commented again. They never commented again after that.
There you
Well,
go.
and then like when they shot the famous Phoebe Cates scene, there was like 30 people there. Like they just said the crew needed was about like 15, and there was like 30.
Yeah, see, I don't remember that. I actually thought that would sound like you're on the other side of the argument. I thought Phoebe Cates came out and said it was done tactfully and
Oh yeah,
respectfully.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And but like I said, it was that my mother was horrified because she took me to see that movie because my dad was seeing Incheon. It was a war movie about Korea. So let's check out this funny movie.
That is the greatest story ever.
Oh,
That
what
your
did
mom
think
took you to.
Christine?
I remember the famous carrot scene in the cafeteria. I remember her squirming so bad and me wanting to crawl underneath the seat because I was embarrassed that she was watching me watch it.
Why don't you describe that scene, Brady? What's going on with the carrot?
They were discussing the healthy intake of vegetables in a high school cafeteria.
There we go.
So on to the next one.
So I got to put up this comment because I'm just so surprised by it. The historian has only seen about 27 seconds of Fast Times at
Chris.
Ridgemont High.
Well, you know what the 27 seconds is.
I
Right.
just now got it. I was getting ready to scold Chris there.
Now you got to tell us if that's really true. I mean, have you only seen that part, or maybe?
Do you wear a Long John Silver's outfit when you watch that part? I know it wasn't Long John Silver's. What was the place that he worked?
It was oh god,
It was a Long John Silver's type place.
Yeah.
Captain D's.
It was a made up one because on Super 70s they've got a parody T-shirt of the place, something fish and chips. I'll have to look it up.
By the way, Nick Cage was in that scene.
Yes, Nick
Not that scene,
Coppola.
not that scene, but,
Nicholas Coppola, yes.
Yeah.
Next on the list, and then I'm going to wrap it up so we can get to the game. Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Now, I will say this: the first time I watched
2004.
it, I didn't think it was, I didn't love it, but it grew on me.
But it was one. And here's the thing: when I saw it the first time, I liked it, but I didn't love it. But then when I watched it again, I caught so much I didn't catch the first time, and I don't know why.
I think it requires a rewatch for sure.
It does. Like when we went to San Diego a couple years ago, you do not know how many times it was on the tip of my tongue. San Diego, Spanish for whales' female parts.
Yeah.
Captain Hook Fish and Chips.
There we go. I knew Fish and Chips was in the title.
Anchorman, the sequel was pretty good too, but not as good as the first one.
Not as good. Not as good.
But do you? Now that is a movie where the supporting cast, I think, made it.
Yes.
I mean,
whoops.
Steve Carell, Paul Rudd.
Oh gosh.
The one guy, I can't think of his name, but
Works all the time, 60% of the time.
Who's the other guy? Who's the
Oh, the bald guy. I know.
The one who was in Waiting or whatever.
Yes. Oh, daggone.
I can't think of his name. The one who was the sports guy, the sports cat on the team, the sportscaster.
Was it something Mantooth? No, that was Paul Rudd. West Mantooth or something like that.
Randolph Mantooth.
No, I thought Mantooth was the
Weatherman.
The Vince Vaughn.
David Koechner.
That's
David
it.
Koechner.
That's it.
I thought Dorothy Mantooth was the rival news, one of the rival news crews with Vince Vaughn.
I think you're right.
Doesn't he say that Dorothy Mantooth is a saint? I might have that wrong.
Okay. Are you ready for this next one? This one is going to be the most divided because this is one of the few I've seen it once, but I'm going to poke the bear once. And this one is 1998's The Big Lebowski. People that love The Big Lebowski love The Big Lebowski. I was psyched, and when I watched it, I did not love it.
Overrated.
I've never seen it.
Who is that?
The Coen brothers.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Coen brothers movies are overrated. It's not my speed.
You know how different comedies hit you different ways. I mean, there is a cult following for The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, huge.
That one
I feel like I'm missing out.
That one has definitely become a cult classic.
Yeah, but just didn't love it.
No, I'm the same way. I'm on the same page.
Yep.
There's so many. This is a tough, so 2 of those were on my list. How many were on your list? Your lists.
Okay, let's go to our list that weren't mentioned. Todd, you're locked and loaded.
Did you go through your whole list?
Two of mine were, but I couldn't stop at 5, so I cheated. I have 8. But oddly enough, only one of mine is from the 80s. and that was Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds was on my list.
That is on my list as well.
It almost has to be. Scary Movie was on my list. 40-Year-Old Virgin is on my list.
That's one of the ones I liked, but I didn't love.
Something About Mary was on my list.
That
Yeah.
was on my list.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall was on my list.
Not
I
on
could
my
watch-
list, but I love it.
I could watch that probably every night. Old School has to be on that list somewhere. That's another one that's on my list. Step Brothers I mentioned, and then I Love You Man is on my list.
That's pretty good.
I'm a Paul Rudd guy. Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
I do like it. Wonderlust. That's probably not on my list, but it has one of the funniest
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Eric, do you want to do your add-ons, or do you want me to go ahead?
Go ahead, because I honestly didn't do it. I was
Okay, that's all right.
worried about the mechanics here. But
So one of the ones on my list is Clerks and Mallrats, two of the Kevin Smith movies. Wet Hot American Summer.
That's pretty damn good.
So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Clerks and Mallrats.
What?
You say Clerks and Mallrats?
Clerks and Mallrats, yeah.
Now, would you put Clerks? See, I would put Clerks 2 over Clerks 1. As
far
far as
I debated that. I really did, but there were it probably the Kevin Smith nerd in me is the Clerks, them shooting it on the $20,000 budget and making something so funny that was dialogue driven.
definitely
I
got
think I laughed more at Clerks 2.
I probably because Clerks 2 wasn't as dialogue driven, but it was still dialogue driven.
Yeah.
And some of the jokes in Clerks 2 just hit home, like the whole Anne Frank thing, like that. I mean, like everyone has made that mistake before, like that, and they made a joke about it's
The Helen Keller and Frank mix up.
yeah. That literally happened with our daughter O'Reilly with one of her years ago. She did a play when she was little. She did a play at Southern State Community College, and they were going to do Anne Frank next. And like she's coming home, she's getting a ride home from rehearsal one night with one of the adults that working in the play, and she was telling Riley how she wanted, she thought Riley should audition for Anne Frank, and she's like, she's like, this poor girl, she was blind and deaf, and like she was going on and on and on, and finally she stopped. She's like, hang on a minute. Or no, Riley was like, I think that's Helen Keller, not Anne Frank. So like that hits home because like, so many people have made that.
And why do people make that mistake?
I have no idea.
I mean, these two people are nothing alike.
No. I think it's just a name mix-up. Like.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, there's Brady. You can talk about that.
In Clerks 2.
Yeah.
One guy was talking about he said, I don't want to go blind and deaf and end up like Anne Frank.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, wait, what are you talking about? And he had to set him straight.
But that joke, they knew the joke would work because they knew that so many people had.
Oh yeah. But those were a couple on my, and of course I had to put So I Married an Axe Murderer on there.
Oh yeah. What about Zack and Miri? That was close.
Zack and Miri was on a different list of underrated comedies, and that's where Wet Hot American Summer, Zack and Miri, Saving Silverman. There's quite a few, and I mean I could go. I mean there's a lot of them we could go on and on about. Hot Rod. Hot Rod's on the underrated list, and I laughed hysterically at that, but I don't put it as one of my favorites.
Well, I would put Chris mentioned Joe Dirt. I would put Joe Dirt as on the I think underrated list.
Chris, that is a trio right there of excellent, awesome movies.
Chris, especially See No Evil, Hear No Evil. I laughed so hard at that movie, I almost came up with it.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, Chris, have you ever seen? I mean, anything with those two in it together? I mean, Stir Crazy was fantastic.
Yeah.
Silver Streak was my least favorite of those three. But yeah, Stir Crazy, like when it came, it was way before my time. So I had actually seen. Well, I had seen See No Evil, Hear No Evil
before.
No, I saw Stir Crazy, but I was too young to get it.
Yeah.
But then when I saw See No Evil, Hear No Evil when I got a little older and liked this so much, I went back and watched Stir Crazy. Both of them very good.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles was mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah. Stripes.
Stripes. Yeah.
I was never a
Porky's.
big Bill Murray. I put Bill Murray in that same category as John Candy. I liked all the movies, but I never found him overly I never found him hilarious.
Okay, so on that note, Saturday Night Live, the original cast, is worshipped. But if you go back and watch those, I don't think they're funny at all.
I agree. Which I mean, also now I will say this: lately, it seems like Saturday Night Live has been doing some funny stuff. But I don't know. I don't. To me, Saturday Night Live was the funniest during the '90s.
Mid 80s with Eddie Murphy and
I'm
Joe
more
Piscopo and
Chris Kattan, Daryl Hammond, who's the guy that unfortunately got killed. His wife killed him.
Oh, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman.
well, I say you take a 15-year period between, let's say, 1983 and 1998.
Yeah.
That was the Saturday Night Live sweet spot.
Yeah. And
Dana
you know
Carvey.
what's strange is to me, back then, it was the cast. Now, if there is a funny moment at Live, it's always the guest host. To me, that makes it. There's no memorable cast. You know what I mean? Like, well,
I mean,
for instance,
Pete Davidson, but Pete Davidson, but I don't have anything against him, but
I don't find him funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. What's his name's been on there forever. With the Nickelodeon guy, Kel Keenan.
Oh, Keenan.
Yeah. But like the one scene that is probably my favorite in the last 10 years of Saturday Night Live, where the alien, who's the host? The guy that was in The Notebook.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, when he does his, and they always do the alien invasion, and I can't think of anybody's name. I'm never good at names, but again, it's when the hosts they're there. It's when to where back then I don't even remember guest hosts from the mid 80s to the mid 90s, like Eric said. But the cast was so funny.
Yeah.
And I'll leave you
Dana
with this.
Carvey. I mean,
Yeah. So as we're wrapping up these comedies, and what I find funny is a lot of the comedies that people love, but they're never on anybody's top, like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Tommy Boy. People love those movies, but notice they didn't make quite any of the, I wonder why that is.
well, I think Happy Gilmore, I like all of those. Happy Gilmore to me is the funniest
I agree.
of those. And I don't know. I think Adam Sandler was definitely in that category. You either loved him or you hated him as far as his comedy.
Yeah.
Well, see, and I was going to say he and Farley. If you like one of they're like Boston. If you like one of their songs, you like them all. If you like one of those movies, you like them all.
Right. But I think
Kevin
I
Smith
probably
fall
shared
under
with
that
you guys.
category?
What?
Does Kevin Smith fall under that category, or is it
Probably so. Probably so.
Well, Brady, I'm surprised you didn't mention Jay and Silent Bob as on your list of.
It was I had to pick two, and it was tough.
Because I would put Jay and Silent Bob over Mallrats.
Yeah.
As far as just funny.
Yeah.
Mallrats is a better movie, but Jay and Silent Bob I would put as funnier. But
Kids on the escalator again. I say that every time I'm at a mall. Not a day goes by where some snot-nosed kid gets caught in the escalator and a bloodbath ensues.
But I think I probably shared with you guys back when I went, but Steve and I went to see Adam Sandler a few years back now, and I didn't expect to laugh. I went because I love Adam Sandler, and I expected his goofy, normal self. He did none of it. He was hilarious. I mean, I like face hurt for like 3 days laughing. So and that surprised me because I literally expected all of his voices and all the little things. He did none of it. Like literally none of it. I mean, it just so I think it's another thing about these guys. Like, I think that's a testament to when they find a formula that works, they stick with it. Even if it's of course, Adam Sandler's gotten into more dramatic roles and stuff, as he's gotten older. But what was the movie about the diamonds?
Blood Diamonds.
No, that was
Oh, it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, the one that had Kevin.
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you
Now,
mean.
now that's a movie where you'll literally feel like you're on cocaine. I mean, it's like 100-mile-an-hour. I guarantee you, everybody's blood pressure watching that movie sky high.
You become a crackoon.
Yeah.
Shrew on shrooms. All right. I think we've flogged the equine. The dead horse has been beaten. This topic is exhausted, but isn't this one of those topics where we could probably sit here and shoot the bull for 2 hours and still not even come to closure on it?
Well, because there's so many directions you could go.
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned Wanderlust earlier. Like Wanderlust, I would not put it even in my top 10 funniest movies, but I would put it in my top 5 probably funniest couple scenes in it. The when Paul Rudd's in the mirror, talking to himself in the mirror, trying to convince himself that he should have relations with the other drug dealer.
It's great, man.
All right. So game time. Game time.
Dang.
That's a sucker. Brady, got your juice box?
Dang it, man. I've been having a supply issue.
Brady got your juice box. Todd has got his sucker on.
I'm going with orange tonight.
Orange.
Orange.
I won't do
Not the
that.
chocolat.
Chocolat.
No, I'm a grown man, Eric. I grew out of that.
I'm a grown man. Yeah, well, you can only eat the chocolate ones as a kid? I didn't know this.
No, I think I've shared before. When I was a kid, all I would eat were the chocolate ones. And now the chocolate's probably my least favorite. Although I still like them.
See, no. Yeah, I think you were just... No one eats chocolate Tootsie Roll Pops.
Well, I got a whole big box of them that said wrong.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, though. If you buy an ordinary person a big box of Tootsie Roll Pops, the chocolate ones are the last ones left. People will eat the chocolate ones when there's no other option.
Well, okay, so we could have a debate about this because here's what I think. I think the reason why I like the chocolate ones is because that's what type of confectionery lover like Celia would always pick a fruit-based dessert, like a fruit pie or something over, and I'm chocolate, peanut butter, fudge, anything like that. Give me a chocolate or peanut butter pie over any fruit pie.
Yeah.
Brady's the opposite. I know Brady likes the fruit
Well,
pie.
see, I don't disagree, but I don't consider a Tootsie Pop a dessert.
No, but do you see what I'm saying? There's no fruit. There's no fruit-colored, fruit-flavored outer shell. It's all brown and chocolate and
Hot brown and plenty of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, I do love a chocolate pie, a peanut butter pie, and I will choose those most of the time. I just go with fruit on my breakfast foods.
Yeah.
Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. No, I wasn't going there, Brady. I wasn't.
Well, you cracked the door and I burst through it.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
That's weird. The light is making my teeth look orange.
Yeah. Well,
Looks like I've been gargling Cheetos.
before we play the game, can we get caught up with some of these? We have all kinds of comments here.
Just comments on I'm trying to figure out where I left off. So, Jim, here's a good... I've not been on this website in a while. He asked, has the historian been on the Dr. Skin website when he was talking about Phoebe Cates?
He may be Dr. Skin for all we know,
Yeah,
James.
that's true. So if you're not familiar, Dr. Skin will tell you where the
Naughty parts.
the naughty parts are in movies where
Dr.
people are sans clothing. Hence Dr. Skin. E-Swope, Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day. Again, two different kinds of comedies there, but both Bill Murray vehicles.
Solid.
Yeah, very solid.
Yeah, good choices. I wouldn't call them just knockdown, gut busting comedies, but good movies.
Humorous.
What about Bob?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, City. What movie you're talking about?
Yeah, says she watched it First time a few months ago, didn't see what all the fuss was about.
And James, I don't know if they're talking about the same one or not. Because James says I like it, but not a movie I love.
Maybe it was super bad. Maybe that's what it was.
Celia, what movie did you watch that you didn't see the? Oh, Big Lebowski.
Oh, Big Lebowski. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Chris makes a good point. American Pie, if you're a teenage boy, Nadia was your favorite. I was not a teenage boy, and Nadia was my favorite. Let's see. Jim agrees with old school. We put up the comment about Caddyshack or My Cousin Benny. My Cousin Benny, yes. Oh, Caddyshack 2. I mean, you know, but not Caddyshack 2. Caddyshack also.
Except
Although
for the Clydesdale scene.
Yeah, Caddyshack 2 did have its moments, but Jim says Young Frankenstein. Oh, Fletch. Yes, Fletch.
The new Fletch was good.
It was. I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Because I was good. Sorry, Eric, go ahead.
I didn't think the choice of Fletch was going to be a good one, but now when they were talking about Fletch with, who was it?
Jason Lee.
Yeah, Jason Lee. That he seemed more Fletch-like to me than the guy from I can't remember his name either.
We're terrible at names.
Madman. What was his name?
Oh.
Last before we go to the game, Kevin Smith bought the movie rights to all the Fletch books, but there was a statute of limitations, like the movies had to be made or they go revert back. And I think the word is that he was going to make Jason Lee Fletch, but something fell through with the scheduling and everything.
Did he get his money back?
I don't know. That I don't know. I'll have to ask him because, like,
you would have thought his people would have known their people and known that before he spent the big coin.
The people he wanted, it didn't. It just didn't work. It was one of those things that was in scheming but never came to fruition. So,
let's think. I mean, we talked about Sorry, Mary and Axmer. I mean, what about the Austin Powers movies? I mean, the first couple.
No. Yeah.
Oh yeah, strong.
Yeah, that's true.
Wayne's World.
Oh yeah.
Again, not one I would like. Not one I cracked up at like. But still good. I put that in kind of the Ghostbusters Night Shift.
Yeah, see, he brings up Night Shift. It is with Fonzie and who else? Not Tom Hanks. Michael Keaton, right?
You guys know what I think of Fonzie. I can't get behind a Fonzie vehicle. Although I'm not quite as mad at Jim Gaffigan as I used to be. I think he showed he can. I respect Jim Gaffigan for his performance at the whatchamacallit. He gave it to both sides, which is the way comedy used to be.
Yes, exactly. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
The historian says you're going to lose, Todd, without the chocolate one.
Oh goodness, Chris! And I'm coming off a big win in the last game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jim, Animal House.
Oh, nice. And Porky's. We talked about Porky's earlier.
Yeah.
We did.
As long as this isn't a game where Brady gets to use all of his damn nautical.
My nautical knowledge or obscure mammals.
Obscure mammal.
I think Brady's got a Popeye tattoo as a tramp stamp. If you.
Chris says he's not been on Dr. Skin, but heard on a podcast about how the guy that runs it has a son that brought a friend over and said the friend flipped out finding out what his dad did for a living.
That would be hard to explain at PTOs.
Yeah. Mr. Mom, speaking of that, Terry Garr passed away today.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did anybody have a crush on Terry Garr at one point?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I would put her in the same category as Helen Hunt.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Did you say handsome woman?
Helen's Hunt.
Helen's something.
I know it doesn't make sense, but still, it works. Gotta try it.
Yeah, Chris or Celia. She's so talented. She was so talented.
We don't have to indulge. We don't have to give them too much. But I wonder what our audience would think of our Civil War.
There's literally been 8 times today where I've chortled out loud.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to send Eric, you guys a text earlier that said like the cannons are rumbling.
The cavalry is moving.
Got out the hacksaw, chopping off limbs.
So,
Anyway, we just the other day we've been getting together to watch the Bengals games. The three of us haven't, and I think that if there's ever a risk of us feeling too old and too curmudgeonly, I think we proved it wrong the other day when we really showed that we still haven't grown up one bit. Eric can barely get out the door from laughing, so we were laughing so hard it took him 20 minutes from the time he stood up to the time he left.
And with that,
bring
it on.
All right, so game we haven't played in a while, Race to Stupid.
I got
I've got a head start.
So you'll need a writing utensil and paper.
Oh, Brady's kryptonite. I win.
Yeah. Can I type it on a document and show it?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
That gives him an unfair advantage because he's.
And Jim puts up I believe that's a Porky's quote, right? Have you seen Mike Hunt? Let me make sure to enunciate there.
You better enunciate and pause.
So now I have to tell this story. On that note, so I was duped many years ago. So the schools where I taught had something called Hoagie Day, and kids buy hoagies and they were brought to school, and so that's what they had for lunch. So in the day, you would put your name on an order form and order your hoagie, and then you'd come pick it up the next day. They'd be brought to school. Sometimes there would be kids who were absent, and then you'd have to sell the hoagie or try to sell the hoagies that remained there. Some I'm trying to figure out the right word to say.
Yahoo,
ne'er-do-well, yeah. Put on the order form, Mike Hawk. Now, in the school district I used to teach in, the last name Hawk was somewhat prevalent. So if I were to read a name out loud in a cafeteria with the last name Hawk, I would not think anything of it until I had read it very loud twice. Then I would think something of it. So twice very loudly in the cafeteria, because you have to call out the name of the kid who's absent twice. You have to call out the name of the kid that's absent to see if the kid is there. So twice. Mike Hawk. Now, you at home can say those two together more quickly and find out what was coming, what was being said. Let me rephrase.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Yeah, I just got to forge ahead now.
I'm dying.
So, yes, Jim. That's why you always say Michael.
That's right. And
so my first, once I said that twice, then I stopped and I looked around to see who might be laughing. To see who the guilty party was. There was no one laughing. So the culprit either was a great person at hiding the laughter and ignoring what was going on, or the culprit was not in the room.
Or the culprit was a coworker named Mark.
Well, that could be too. That could be too.
Who's currently my coworker, who I'll
That
have
could
to
be
ask
too.
about that.
That could be too. He was not in the room, but I could see him doing that to me,
Yes.
and then hearing about it later.
I'm going to take Tim's advice, and from now on, I'm going to pronounce it Philip and Patricia McGroin.
Oh my!
And now you're getting a dose of what we were doing the other day. I'm gonna get out of the door.
I still, I can't say it on here, but I'll allude to it for you guys. But our dear old teammate, buddy Casey, may he rest in peace. That when we were challenging each other at the fair to come up with names at the paging booth, and he did the old Haywood. And they actually did it. There's no one on the planet with that last name. Anyway, that'll get us an NC-17 rating. I can't say that on the air.
Yeah, well, it was that new Polish family that settled in Brown County.
That's right. Oh, goodness.
Oh. So Celia has a comment. Said that reminds me of the note my stepdad left me about my first teaching job. The note should have read, Mr. Hawk wanted me to call him back, but my stepdad did not hear Hawk. He heard something else.
Yeah.
So Celia, did you call the number and say, hey, is Mr. there?
I forget.
All right.
Before. I forget what she actually said, but
My document is ready.
Brady's pushing us along. He's getting uncomfortable, getting squirmy.
by the way, can we just already deduct 2 points from Brady?
For not being prepared.
We've been playing games on this for 3 years, and he never once has paper and pen when he needs it.
No, that's a fact.
He's a teacher, for goodness sakes.
Well,
That's a
it's
fact.
all there because if I have paper and pens here, they get pilfered or ate by the dogs.
And guess what, gentlemen?
I
Guess
have
what,
what everybody should always have at their desk, and that is a legal pad. And
Legal pad.
See, that's my favorites, but they always disappear.
Legal pads are. You can't write on the back page of a legal pad.
I was just getting ready to ask you that. Do you guys? So do you? Well, it depends. It depends on how big this part is. If this kind, see it?
The sheath.
This kind, it does go back pretty well. But when you have the one that's like thick and heavier, you can only get like a half a page on the back.
Right.
I have also done this where you write on nothing but the front page and then you flip it over and run back through it the other way.
True. But I think the purpose, hence the legal pad, is so a lawyer, whilst in court, can just turn pages so they don't have to flip the thing over while they're.
Probably so.
I think that's the purpose.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, it's 5:00 somewhere. All right.
All ball bearings nowadays.
That's right. What, are you doing some stump flying up there?
Oh.
All right. So, the
in effect.
always in effect. Okay, so this game puts more weight on being witty than being knowledgeable. If you remember, we played this before. So I'm going to give you a trivia question. You are going to write 2 answers. You're going to write what you feel is the correct answer, and you're going to write the funniest answer to the question that you can come up with, and then I decide which one's funnier. And the funny answer gets 2 points, and the real answer gets 1 point.
Gotcha.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay, so we're playing to 10. All right. Question number 1. What is the man at the end of the tug of war team called? What is the man at the end of the tug of war team called?
Got it.
I remember our co-hosts are writing one answer they feel is the correct answer and the other answer they feel is the funniest answer. Todd, since you were first to complete your answers.
Do I read you the answer I think is the right answer first?
Yes. Can you all see me? Because I look to be blank on the screen.
Yeah, but you
Yeah, I
look
can see you.
You're frozen on mine. Move your nose. Yep, you're frozen.
I'm doing a genie dance.
You're frozen on my end. Am I frozen?
You are frozen.
No.
Todd,
No,
you're very live.
Neither one of you two are frozen.
Sometimes back when
But you can hear me? You can hear me?
Absolutely clearly.
Okay, well then I'll proceed on then, since you
You
can
want
hear
to
me.
jump out and jump back in real quick?
Well, see if that helps.
Hang on.
Didn't help.
Now you're black.
We'll just go.
It's just black and green.
Yeah, well, that's what I was seeing before when you said I was frozen. So
Okay.
anyway,
I still hear you. It's
but
kind of creepy.
yeah, well,
Wow.
we'll just go on.
All
Okay,
right.
Todd,
All
you
right,
got your
okay.
correct answer.
Anchor.
Anchor. Okay, Brady, what's your correct answer?
Anchor.
Anchor. All right, so I will give you both a point. The actual answer is Anchor Man, but in the interest of being all inclusive, Anchor, I will give you a point. So, Todd, what is your funny answer?
Taint Tugger.
Taint Tugger. Okay. Brady?
I put the buttress.
Of Windsor.
The buttress. As in a flying
buttress.
buttress, which is an architectural term. For whatever reason, I think it fits.
I think when you look at the shape of the tug of war line, that the Taint Tugger is pretty fitting.
I will go with I will go with Taint Tugger as the funny answer.
Thank you. At first, I just had Taint.
Tisn't. All right, so
Mud.
Jerry Troutman. Hello, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
I saw Troutman. I thought it was Gary. It's
I
Jerry.
did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was-
Jim, happy if you're playing with your wife.
Yeah. So I found in many elementary tug of war competitions that the final person, the person who's last in line, is either the hardest working person on the team or the
Laziest.
laziest on the team.
Yeah.
This is true.
They're either all in and they're saving it. They're the only, like everybody else is literally laying on the ground and atop the rope and everything else, and they still have a hold of it, or they let go and let everybody else
Yeah.
fall.
This is true. All right, Todd's up 3-1. 3-1. Okay, I'm going to try real quick. I'm going to totally leave the studio and come back in.
Eric has left the studio.
All right, folks, we can talk about Eric now. He does have a giant wallet. It is square. His wallet is square. It's like a 8 inches by 8 inch square.
It probably readjusts his pelvis. Like he would need a chiropractor to straighten him out. The thing is thicker than a James Michener novel.
Right. It's the size of a couch pillow.
Here comes Eric.
There
He's
he
back.
is.
Oh, he's gone again. So now that he's gone, oh, he is back again.
As we were saying, Eric.
I was hearing all of your nonsense, so don't even try.
You know what? I knew you could because the same thing happened to me before the show.
There's Gary.
Hey,
Where's
Gary.
Gary?
Hey.
Gary says,
Raw.
Tug McCraw. I like his answer better. He gets 2
Typos.
points.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2.
All right, good.
What are the two gaits, GAITS, used in harness racing?
Are we talking horses?
I know they start with would ya.
Can't tell. I almost.
Easy there. Start out with would you? You Brown County Fair fans know what he was talking about. What are the two gaits, GAITS, used in harness racing?
I mean, I got him.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, Brady, we'll go with you first this time. What's
My
your correct
re-
answer?
My correct answer is canter and gallop.
Incorrect. Todd?
I had canter and trot.
Got one of the two. Trotting is one.
Nah.
Pacing is the other. All right, funny answer, Brady.
Bill and Melinda.
Todd?
Okay, so I went half of Brady's approach, and then I went a little more elementary humor. Bill and Rusty.
Now, you know I'm more of a fan of highbrow humor than elementary humor.
But at some point, isn't elementary humor highbrow humor?
Only if it's Dumb and Dumber. Brady gets the 2 points.
Oh.
Do I get one?
Can I tell you what I'm output?
No, you got to get both of them.
Oh, they're gonna half.
Nope.
My second funny answer, which please don't count this, was oh crap and look out.
I
Anyway.
had Bill and Andrew first. What have I gotten it then, Eric?
Probably not.
So it's tied.
So you're telling me that the Bill was not what sold it for Brady. It was the Melinda.
It
or
was
whatever?
it was the Melinda. Yes, Melinda
Gotcha.
did it. All right, question 3. What does God create in the first sentence of the Bible? What does God create in the first sentence of the Bible?
Crap.
Maybe.
All right.
He made himself laugh.
No, I was
Brady,
laughing
you
at
ready?
I was
Oh, you're
laughing
laughing at me.
I'm ready.
I was laughing at your maybe to my crap.
Oh, got it. Todd, what's your real answer?
The right answer is light.
Incorrect. Brady,
Heaven and earth.
heaven and earth is correct for a point.
You tell me there's no light in heaven and
He
earth?
created the heavens and the earth, and then he said,
Let
"This
there
is
be
good.
light.
Let there be light."
All right. Well, I got the second one, so don't worry.
Okay. Brady?
Oh, actually, Todd, your funny
Oh,
answer.
Todd.
You got it right.
Oh,
So,
good, your
yeah.
funny answer.
I know, but I thought the person who got the right.
Oh, okay. Want me to get my funny answer?
Go ahead.
Phoebe Cates.
Hey, you're pandering. You're pandering.
That is pandering.
All right,
Go ahead,
so-
Todd.
So the question is the first sentence of the Bible, correct?
Correct.
God created the Oxford comma.
Yeah. Todd gets the 2 points.
Come
Thank you.
on.
Brady, not only were you pandering, but Todd's answer was better. So
Which, by the way, is becoming more and more difficult to teach. It's like you can put a comma there on your at the end of your series, but if you don't, that's all right as well.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
That's the Cambridge comma.
That's the Oxford comma.
Well, no, if you don't put it, it's the
Oh,
Cambridge
no.
comma.
It's just like the two spaces at the end of a sentence. I cannot not do that.
I know.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. Well, and then you're like, when you tell students that, like, when I was a kid, we put if I were going to get bread, milk, and sugar, I put bread, comma, milk, comma, and sugar. But then when you try to explain why now they don't have to put bread, comma, they can put bread, comma, milk, and sugar, I always feel like a liar. Like they change, and then you got to explain who they are. Like there's just people that sit around, I guess, that are just so bored they have to change grammatical. Like why did it change?
Yeah. So on that note, it's kind of the same and kind of different. But Gary Goldman has his little bit on abbreviating the states.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Just need to listen to it sometime.
Check it out.
All right. Next question.
Mhm.
I'm into Baron.
5-4, Todd. No, we're going to 10.
I know. I was kidding.
Okay. The California restaurant, the Stinking Rose, adds what to every dish? The California restaurant, the Stinking Rose, adds what to every dish? California restaurant, the Stinking Rose. You have to read it like that. The Stinking Rose adds what to every dish?
Okay.
All right.
Todd, what you got?
Well, for lack of a better term, anchovies.
Anchovies is incorrect. Brady?
Garlic.
Garlic is correct.
Oh, oh my gosh, I pulled that out of my rectum. Yeah, I did not. That was a wild guess.
It makes sense, though, I will say, now that I hear it.
Yeah. All right, then, Brady, what's your funny answer?
Fromunda cheese.
Todd?
Pure carp mud vein.
Yeah, Todd.
It's the only hope I have because I don't know crap about actual fact.
Gotta cut out that mud vein.
Good eating. I almost made a stink bug joke, given that everybody's dealing with the stink bugs, but I don't think it would have hit home as well.
See
I
again.
received 2 points.
You did not receive 2 points.
One.
You got 1 point for
Oh,
getting the
yeah,
correct
yeah.
answer.
Oh,
I'm into Baron.
Again, again, more weight in this is placed on this game at being witty than being knowledgeable.
I legitimately, for some reason in my mind, had those backwards. I've been playing this game
Like
wrong.
the guy in the Capitol building.
Uh,
Oh.
all right, next question. What do you get when you add Lactobacillus bulgaricus to milk?
What?
I'll read it again. What do you get when you add Lactobacillus bulgaricus to milk? Milk, for those of you who are not earbuds.
Milk.
Milk. This being milk. Bachelor party.
Oh, sorry.
That had been on my list.
Yes. I'm ready.
Hang on. One more time. What do you get when you add
Lactobacillus
and toddler ants?
Lactobacillus bulgaricus to milk. This being milk.
When I get my answer, I got to deliver it a certain way.
Todd could win the game here if he gets the correct answer and the funny answer.
He shan't.
Shit.
I
You're
think
throwing down the gauntlet.
I think I'm going to be storming for the Baron.
All right.
All right.
Brady. That sounds Latin, and Brady's good with that stuff.
Brady, what's your correct answer?
My correct answer is lisping malt. Malt.
Malt is incorrect.
Ah!
Todd?
Buttermilk.
Buttermilk is incorrect. Yogurt.
Yogurt.
Lactobacillus bulgaricus creates yogurt. All right, Brady, funny answer.
Say it one more time for me, Eric.
The ingredient?
Yeah, yes, the added.
When you add Lactobacillus bulgaricus.
It's the capital city of the Conflatulate States of America.
Pandering. So let's take away the flatulence parts.
He's laughing now. He's laughing.
It's good. It's not highbrow.
No, it's low and brow.
I'm going to come at you with the highbrow.
Let it
here.
be low and brow. Go ahead.
A porta potty Jackson Pollock painting is what you get.
Alliteration at its finest.
Gotta have a little highbrow art humor, see?
Well, this is true.
I will concede. I will put him in the Baron, and now I shall storm back.
All right. Todd's in the Baron. Yeah.
I feel wrong for that, Brady. Did you really like my answer? Or
No, I did.
just to get anybody who's not familiar with Jackson Pollock, this is what his paintings look like.
Little splash here, little splash there.
Isn't it weird that we both went with something like?
Well, it's the word vulgaris.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, I heard all those B's, those B words, and thought butter. I don't know why I thought butter was. What was the right answer?
Yogurt.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
All right.
I'm fair Baron in the Baron.
You are fair Baron the Baron. All right. Looking forward to the funny answer on this one. What were the occupations of the three men in a tub?
What were the occupations of the three men in a tub?
Yes. What were the occupations of the three men in a tub? I knew this would elicit some good, funny answers.
Oh gosh, guys. Is it worth winning the game over? Is what I want to know. I gotta write it out. I can't say it if I... Damn it, I keep misspelling it.
So the question is, what were the occupations of the three men in a tub? If you just joined us, our co-hosts are giving us two answers, one of which they feel is the correct answer to the question, and the other answer they're going to give is what they feel is the funniest answer to the question.
I hate myself for even going. I'm thinking. I can't.
Are you showing restraint?
I can't. No, I'm not showing restraint because I gotta win. But it's liable to get me. I don't know.
I'm concerned about the same thing, Todd.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, Brady, what's your correct answer?
The butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker.
That is correct.
Yes.
I had no idea. I put doctors. All three of them. The whole lot.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
I know. Hang on. I'm getting there.
All right, so that makes it 9-6.
Well, what's the question again?
What were the occupations of the three men in a tub?
All right. So the three men in a tub's jobs were to rub-a-dub-dub till the nub is a chub. Can you call me the winner and we get out of here?
You want to hear mine first?
Yes. I do.
Yes.
The wedding planner, the interior designer, and the Steelers fan.
Too soon.
Oh, as brilliant as that was, I have to for risk-taking extraordinaire. I'm a fan of saying things without saying them. Todd wins the game.
He goes to 11.
Turn it up to 11, man.
And I don't have to
He
repeat
goes to
my.
11.
It's ingrained in the show now. So
Yes. The historian has put it into the book of time, the book of the ear. The answer has been forthwith entered.
So it is written.
So it is said. So saith the shepherd.
So say it the flock.
and Chris,
Pelican snot.
our beloved Chris, the historian, predicted that I would lose since I didn't have my chocolate sucker.
He did.
That looks like a butterscotch sucker in that light.
Well, it is very pale. It's a
it's
pale
a palette orange.
It's peaking,
John.
Not a blood orange. Not a
right?
blood orange.
Speaking of blood orange, I have some lip balm that is blood orange mint. It's very good.
Blood orange
Have you-
mint.
Have you
Why?
Have you ever had like a blood orange?
I
Yeah.
have.
I had one time at work. Did not know it was a blood orange. Peeled
Were
that.
you disturbed?
Yeah, I peeled that bad boy and thought I thought my fruit was ruined.
Roint.
My fruit was ruined.
It felt like a crime scene.
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah. I threw it away. I didn't realize. I didn't know what it was supposed to be.
I had cologne that had a hint of blood orange in it. Orange Neroli by Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. It's excellent. Anyway,
Who is Tom Ford?
I don't know.
Is that Tennessee Ernie Ford's son?
Yeah.
He's a designer,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like a fashion guy.
Yeah. Excellent cologne though.
So he doesn't make sausage.
Well,
Well,
All right. Anything else for the good of the order, gentlemen, schmiddlemen?
Nay.
So, we haven't decided yet. Are we on the air or off the air next week?
We shall discuss.
You know what we should
Hey,
do?
can we have some input? Can we
Yeah.
have some of our earbuds
How many
listen?
people are listening right now, Eric?
Because there's 8.
8.
So next week is election day on Tuesday. That's why we're discussing whether we should be on the air or not. But
Our question to the 8 people in the room right now. And by the way, I saw where Savannah said that her vape juice is blood orange pineapple. And then she's also pointing me in the direction of some bourbon body wash.
Oh.
Funny start. I usually just use straight bourbon. Savannah, but- So if you're in the room right now, would you like, be honest with us, would you want us to be on air next week? Get normal time 7, and I mean, I don't know, unless we can start a little earlier. It's up to you guys, but to do we would not do
it would be political based, nonpartisan show.
right, nonpartisan, political based episode. Or do you guys all think you'll be busy watching the
Returns.
hoopla?
Nah.
So
It's not like we're going to know anything next Tuesday evening anyway.
Well, right, exactly. But we thought we'd get some input because we've talked about we want to stick to our, we try to not take things too seriously on the podcast. But if you guys would like us to distract you while you're watching,
We're very good distractions.
yes. Has anybody chimed in yet?
Jim says it would be better than watching the election results.
All right, Jim says yes. There's one vote
Yes.
for yay.
Your
about
vote
this?
counts.
How about we all take personal days from our job? We will get a hotel in Michigan and then do the podcast at 3 a.m.
Meat chicken.
Meat chick. I would love to. I would take the day off, but I never do. Okay. So
Gary says an all voting episode would be good. A short bracket list that fits in one episode in a game where audience vote gives the points. Political folly only.
I like that. So Gary, you talking like a presidential
Or
bracket?
just have them vote on things like Phoebe Cates versus Heather Graham.
Yeah. Peanut butter pie versus fruit pie. Or do you
Yes.
mean because we could put together a presidential bracket,
We could.
a nonpartisan presidential bracket. We
I'm
could
voting Millard Fillmore.
we could do a presidential bracket based on a hairdo alone.
Oh yeah.
Or we could do a presidential bracket on most uncomfortable surgeries.
Oh. Oh.
Todd and I are reading the same book. And
yeah.
it was
Presidential
inducing.
bracket on most acquaintances dying of tuberculosis and
Typhoid.
typhoid. Yeah.
Consumption. I disappeared again. I'm frozen, aren't I? Aren't I?
You
I
are.
think you are Poison.
You're like,
Hold
that
on.
you're like that damn snowman that we read about every Christmas.
Hold on.
Who's
Well,
that?
it's funny we mentioned internet. So I literally just got a text message seconds ago that says good news. It's from Spectrum, my internet company. They said, good news. We're giving you free extra bandwidth for free for being such a good customer.
How about that?
Okay, I don't have great hearing anymore, but I could have sworn you said they're giving you. What did you say that you said?
Free bandwidth.
I thought you said free manwich, and I was getting ready to tell you to take that. Jump on that offer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gary said, yes, presidential hair, mistresses, the possibilities are endless. Play it by ear. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But would you mind? Eric's just he's blackened. He's like
I can
he's
disagree.
Metallica album. Yeah. But would you mind though? We would probably have to do a little homework for this one.
Probably
You know what
would.
I mean,
A little bit.
We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that so far we have a 2-0 vote though on.
Yeah. Chime in on our maybe if I could figure out how to attach a poll, see what I did there, to our Play It by Ear site.
Oh, sorry. I was
Maybe-
thinking like a stripper pole in your bedroom.
Huh. By the way, Todd, give him the spiel about the Facebook likes and shares and all that.
Oh yeah. So you know what we should do, actually, guys. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the three hosts here, or the two other hosts, and also people listening still. So it's very easy to share our page, and Facebook has kind of it's been up and down with how easy it is. But right now, if you from your own page, if you search our page, Play It By Ear Podcast, and you click on it, there should be 3 dots on like the right side of your screen. If you click on those, at some point you'll get to share page, or invite friends. If you click on that, there should be an invite all button at the top, a box where you check it and it invites everyone. And then you scroll to the bottom, there's another button you hit and it says invite or whatever it is. But either way, you don't have to invite friends like 1 at a time or 5 at a time or 10 at a time. You can literally go on there and in 3 clicks invite everyone. You go to our page, go to the 3 little dots where it says find where it says invite friends. And when you click on that, there'll be a list of all your Facebook friends. At the top, it'll say like check all or something. Click on that. It'll check every friend on your list. And then you can invite everyone in one swoop. So
you know what the official name of the 3 dots is?
What?
Ellipsis.
Yeah, ellipsis. Yeah, I do that. I
Tri-dottery.
do something different for Facebook. Yeah, click on the ellipsi, the elliptical. But anyway, it should be easy to do. And so what we're going to do, Eric, how many followers do we have or likes? I'm not sure how our page is set up.
I'm thinking about 800, but
so if we have 800,
I'm opening up the page just.
Yeah, I am too. It's a little slow. Mine's not opening.
My Facebook looks
769.
weird.
769 followers.
769.
So we want to watch over the next couple of days to see if you guys are following through on what we're asking. So again, just a quick. So I'm on my page right now. I'm going to click on Play It By Ear. I click on it, and the very top of your page says like following message, and then you have your ellipsi. Click on that. About 5 rows down, it'll say invite friends. And then at the top, you'll see where it says select all. If you click on select all, which I'm going to do right now, they'll turn blue with the check mark. And then at the bottom, it says send invites. I'm going to do that. Invites.
Just did it myself.
Me too.
Apparently, there's still 195 people I hadn't invited yet.
So anyway, we would really appreciate you guys doing that and helping us grow.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
All right. With that, our audio podcasts, and I must confess I've fallen behind again on posting the audio podcasts. I've given my struggle to my co-hosts. Writing those little spiels about the show, I struggle. I don't know why I struggle with that. I write all the time. I just can't. Brady had been picking up that slack for me, and I became dependent, and now I can't. But I'll get some posted. But anyway, you find those on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app. And most anywhere else you find an audio podcast, video-wise, also on Spotify. We're on YouTube's and Twitch. Social media, Facebook, X, and Instagrams. Search Play It By Ear on all those platforms, as well as email, admin@playitbyearpodcast.com. You can leave a voice message by clicking the link at your audio podcast provider. If that audio podcast provider is iHeartRadio, click on the microphone, and it's called the TalkBack feature. You can... Don't talk back. But please do talk back. That's what we'd like you to do. You're right, Gary. I should use ChatGPT. That's a good idea. Yeah. Speaking of which, I've got an app. It's called Otter AI, and you can let it record. Maybe I should let it record the podcast and let it write a summary for me. because it does that. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy how accurate it is. So yeah, maybe I should do that from now on. That would help me.
Gentlemen, I can't share this with everybody yet, but gentlemen, I put a description for brisket in an AI picture to see what it would give me. And I will share that with you as soon as it arrives.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
Schmiddleman.
Schmingman. Well, take us out, Todd.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.
I'm
It's a
tired.
Burger King friend.
This is gonna be hard.